Hi, my name is Jamie Joyce, and I'm executive editor of Time Magazine's classroom news edition, Time for Kids. With the support of the Pulitzer Center on Crisis Reporting, I traveled to Kenya to visit Kakuma refugee camp. I wanted to learn what life was like for children who lived and go to school at Kakuma. Kakuma refugee camp opened in 1992. It was opened in response to the refugee crisis in Sudan. And since then, the number of people there has grown year after year. Last year alone, Kakuma accepted about 23,000 refugees. In 2016, Kalobeyei settlement was opened just up the road to accommodate overcrowding. And together, Kakuma and Kalobeyei are now home to about 186,000 refugees. They come from 19 countries. The largest group is from South Sudan, and nearly 60% are children. One of the reasons I was interested in this story is because I'm a former classroom teacher. I taught elementary school before moving into journalism. And I love visiting classrooms and seeing how kids are learning. I went into classrooms in Kakuma expecting to see children between 6 and 13 years old, what you'd see in an elementary school in the US. And what I found in Kakuma is that primary schools, while they're set up to generally accommodate children between 6 and 13, in the classrooms I visited, there were students of widely varying ages. And that's because for many kids, their education was disrupted because of conflict. And so they might not start school at the right age. They might not have been able to go to school in their home country. In Kakuma, there are a little more than 20 primary schools and only about 5 or 6 secondary schools between Kakuma and Kalobeyei. So even if students are graduating from primary school, and many do year after year, even if they want to continue their education for another 4 years, an option does not exist for them. There is not enough room in secondary schools. There aren't enough teachers to teach them. So one of the solutions that people are working on in Kakuma and Kalobeyei is to have students go for split schedules. They're also instituting for the first time fees. It's the equivalent of about US $30. When I was in Kakuma, there was a protest around this because refugees are saying, we cannot afford this. We are refugees, and yet we want to be in school, but this is something that it just won't work. What I hope young readers will take away from this story is I hope that they'll see themselves through these children. My reporting got me asking a lot of questions. I wondered, what does school look like for kids in other refugee camps? Kakuma has a structure for providing education, however limited that structure might be. So what is it like in other places, and what can we do to ensure that children have access to education in times of crisis?
Valeu. Bye.